Alright, so before I start, I would like to mention that Mere Christianity is set up differently compared to other books. And what I mean is, you have multiple books inside this book. So, the first chapter I'm going to be reviewing is going to be from chapter 1, book 1, called Right and Wrong as a Clue to the Meaning of the Universe. And the next chapter I'm going to be reviewing is chapter 1 of book 2, which is called What Christians Believe. So, with that out of the way, let's begin. Okay, so the first chapter is called The Law of Human Nature. And the chapter I found really interesting because C.S. Lewis states that the simple fact that we have a natural right and wrong code programmed into our heads, because we have that basically proves the existence of God. He uses the example of two people having a heated debate on what's right and what's wrong. And because we're human and that this is how we debate, one person is going to try to convince the other person that they are wrong. And you can't really do that if there's not a mutual agreement on what is right, if that makes sense. So, an example that C.S. Lewis also gives in this chapter is how in football you can have one person making a penalty, and you couldn't really do that if there wasn't an agreement on what was not allowed in a football game. So, morality is more than something that we just do. It goes far beyond that. Morality allows us to live like gravity. Because we don't really need to learn morality. It's just something that is given to us by God. The only difference between the law of human nature and morality versus the law of gravity is that we can choose to disobey morality and human nature, but we can't choose to disobey gravity. We are basically automatically programmed to say murder is bad and stealing is bad. Not because society tells us these things, but it's because God made us that way. Okay, so the next chapter I'm going to be talking about is called The Rival Conceptions of God. And this is chapter 1 of book 2. So I really like this chapter because it gives me a new perspective on the whole Christianity versus atheism debate. C.S. Lewis basically says that being a Christian allows you to be more open-minded compared to an atheist. So if you're a Christian, basically, you can say that other religions make good arguments and make good points and have good morality, while as if you are an atheist, basically all you believe is all other religions are just one big mistake. Okay, so in the next part, it talks about the different views of God. And there are many different views of God in different religions. Some views talking about God's morality. Some views talk about how God is neither good nor bad, and that he is just above human morality. And this view is called pantheism, and it's held by Hindus. And another view of God's morality is held by Christians, Jews, Muslims, and that is that God is infinitely good, and he despises evil, and God also wants his followers to behave good as well. All right, so another view that pantheists have of God is that God is one with the universe, and that say if the universe were to just die and cease to exist, so would God. And Christians believe that God is above the universe and separate from the universe, and that he created the universe. And yeah. All right, so in this last part, C.S. Lewis brings attention to this question I hear a lot as well, and that's, if Christians believe in a good God, then how can there be bad in this universe? And C.S. Lewis answers this question with another question. It reads, how had I got this idea of just and unjust? And he goes on to say that you can't really know what a just or unjust universe looks like because there's only one universe. So an unjust universe could look completely different from our own universe, and a just universe could look completely different from ours. And he makes this last analogy, saying you can't call a line crooked if you don't even know what a straight one looks like. All right, so that's about it. If you are ever questioning, like, does God exist, or if you ever just have any doubts about how can we prove that God exists, I would definitely give Mere Christianity a read, and it has taught me a lot, and yeah, I would highly recommend it. That's it. See ya.